Joining us from U.S. Staffing Agency, Jim Dolson and Ben Jones. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm glad February is going to be out of here.
Yeah.
We're
Today's
into the month
it.
of March tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
today's
daylight savings time, what, in 10 days?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
is
don't
it that quick? Wow.
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking April, but it's actually in March.
It still seems like I'm getting a head cold every 2 weeks, but I mean,
I just know on that day I lose an hour of sleep.
that's
I
right.
never get it back.
That's right.
Two things we're going to talk about today, seasonal employment
Yeah.
and job interviews that were not so good.
Yeah, that's right. So, Tim, what's the worst job interview that you've ever experienced, whether you were the interviewer, interviewee?
You know, I knew you were going to ask me that question. I thought about it, and I realized I've been lucky. I've had very few job interviews in my life.
Okay.
I can count them on one hand.
Yeah.
But I remember one where I went in, I needed a job bad. It was a telemarketing job. I went in there with a great attitude. Well, you know what? They treated me like I was a pariah or something because I didn't fit the profile. I figured this out later.
Yeah.
Of people, I asked too many questions.
Well, there you go, Tim. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yep. Just be quiet and do your job.
That's right. Just be quiet and
I
be
was
interviewed,
rejected.
right?
That's right. Well,
We're kidding, by the way. That's not the right way to
if you think you've had some bad experiences with telemarketing or whatever, listen to this story about a horrible job interview experience.
From the unfortunate corners of the internet, we found this story. So the hiring manager, this is an actual event. The hiring manager was using the restroom prior to an interview. And while the person was in the bathroom, there was another person in the restroom who exited without washing their hands. Now, you probably know where this is going.
Oh, boy.
So as the hiring manager exited the restroom and went out to the lobby to greet the potential employee, he realized that, of course, the no hand washer person from the bathroom was the person.
Yeah.
And as the candidate reached out to shake his hands, the manager made some sort of excuse not to do that. And needless to say, that person did not get hired.
They didn't get hired. Well, this is just one story among many of the bad job interview stories on the internet. But if you're thinking of hiring seasonal help this spring and you want to skip the interview process, you may want to think about using a staffing agency.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. So today we're talking about an article titled 5 Benefits Employers Gain when Using Seasonal Labor. And I'm going to brag on Ben a little bit because he won't do this. He actually wrote this article that we're talking about. So
that's right.
Kudos to you, Ben. So, there are many industries that, regardless of the time of the year, Tim, businesses in that industry, they have enough demand to stay busy all year long. Mm-hmm. The auto industry is an example of that, but not true for everybody.
Right. And then there's other industries that see massive shifts in demand for their products and services at different times of the year. Retailers see these big surges during the holiday months, and landscaping companies do most of their annual business during the summer months. Mm-hmm. The companies that experience this type of seasonal surge, those are the companies that can really benefit from utilizing seasonal labor.
Yeah, that's right. So the first way that companies can benefit from using seasonal labor is they reduce their costs. It's a benefit to them. So companies can avoid payroll tax when they use a staffing agency like U.S. Staffing because the staffing agency is the employer of record. There are other benefits from using a staffing agency, such as delegating training and onboarding, that sort of thing, to the staffing agency.
Yeah, that's right. The second way companies can benefit is by taking advantage of the limited availability workforce. And what we're talking about is, like, retailers, for example, they benefit from the stay-at-home parents during the holiday season because they have high school and college kids at home to watch younger siblings. Landscaping companies, they can also benefit from the college students coming home in late spring.
Right. Tim, think back to when you were a younger person. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have, you were a younger person at one time.
Yeah.
Just checking to make
Once
sure.
upon a time.
Did you ever have a summer job? You didn't see that question coming, did you? Did you ever have a summer job? Or did you ever always work year round? Did you ever have a summer job?
I did. I worked in the township cemeteries summers most of the time, from late high school through college, and cutting the grass, trimming the headstones, the bushes, digging the occasional grave.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Nobody ever talked to you there, right?
That's
kind of quiet. Sorry, that was a bad joke. All right.
Nice.
Many times, employers establish good relationships with the people that work with them on a seasonal assignment, which leads possibly into future employment. And that's the next point. Hire the seasonal team member after they graduating from college is definitely one of the benefits of using seasonal labor. When employers are looking to fill mid-level or management positions, they often look for people out of college. So by using a college grad that has worked as a seasonal team member, both team member and the employer know kind of what to expect from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And another benefit that employers see from using seasonal labor is the improvement on their retention rates. This happens for a few reasons, but one of the biggest is the employee can see the light at the end of the tunnel from the beginning of the assignment, so they don't feel so trapped in that job.
It's not a forever thing that they're committing to. And finally, using seasonal labor can help employers find what we call a rock star. And the idea of a rock star is taken from a guy named Jeff Hyman. He wrote a book called Recruit Rock Stars. And by changing onboarding practices to utilize temporary labor, employers have found that diamond in the rough, if you will, Tim, about that rock star.
Yeah, so maybe you're thinking about making some changes in your recruiting practices. If that's the case, give us a call at U.S. Staffing. We have a pool of candidates that may just end up being your next rock star. Or maybe you're a college student thinking about finding a summer job. Come talk to us at U.S. Staffing. We have a lot of companies that are looking to utilize this type of work.
Yeah, so Tim, if employers and potential associates want to talk with us, they can find us on Facebook at U.S. Staffing Agency. They can live chat with us on our website at usstaffingagency.com, or they can come into our Battle Creek location at the Mingus Creek Plaza. It's 5420 Buckley Road. We're in Suite C. Our phone number is 589-6507. Come on over.
I was driving by the other day, and it looks really great. The sign looks great.
Yeah, thanks.
You guys right out front there next to the UPS store.
Yep. It's
a
great location and nice-looking signage out there. And
come by and see us.
Yeah, and it's convenient for you guys if you need something over at Hobby Lobby or Big Lots or want to get some good Mexican food. It's
or
all
go over
right
to
there.
Bob Evans and grab some lunch.
Or go to Big B.
Or Big B, which is our favorite place
Across
to go.
the street, absolutely. There's a lot right there, and easy parking too.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Tim.
U.S. Staffing Agency, Jim Dolson, Ben Jones. Go out and see them.